Guys, I'm sure coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. How y'all doing? I'm glad to have you here talking a little bit of Raid with me today on this Sunday or Monday or whenever you're watching this video. Listen, it's been a while since we've done a video like this here on the channel. It's really when there's a bunch of news, a lot of small stuff, a lot of big stuff, a lot of things upcoming, and a lot of things happened the last week that I figured we kind of aggregate all that information and stick it into one quick, hopefully, news video for you guys. Feel free to give feedback on any of the things that we discuss here. Also, thank you for supporting the channel sponsor, Aura. A lot of you guys signed up. The client gave me incredible feedback there, so thank you so much for that. Okay, let's get into it here. Tomorrow, Monday, May 8th, we are going to have a Super Raids event for Spider's Den, so perfect time to go ahead and load up on the accessories and or silver. I think, at least if you're anything like me, I could definitely use some silver, even though I have 11 mil. It goes fast, man. It goes really, really fast. So again, that will be coming tomorrow from the time of this recording. We also have a fragment summon coming up on Thursday of next week, Thursday of this coming week for Jetney, excuse me, the Giant. So Jetney, pretty cool champion. She is another kind of like arena specialist. I'm not going to go ahead and read her entire kit. I will be going for her primarily because I try to go for all the fragment summons. I find them a lot easier in most cases than going for the old school fusions. So I will be going for her. I can't wait to see what she can do. I don't know her multipliers yet. And, you know, for an arena specialist type champion, I really want to see those, of course. And I want to play test her, and I'll be doing that and bringing that to you, that content to you guys 100%. She's a companion champion with Alsgore Crimson Horn, okay? So all the information on all these new champions will be coming in the coming days. Actually, tomorrow is when the information is going to start dropping by content creators who have access to the dev build. I do, but I don't use the dev build because I really like a lot more time to kind of experiment with champions. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great content out there for you guys to go ahead and consume on her and the companion champion. I did want to mention again that Murder Inc. had a great video talking about not just Jetney, but also his big idea is Plarium really ought to continue to come out with all these like companion champions, right? Which they're doing a lot of lately, right? It's I feel like almost every other fusion or fragment summon, it's a champion that does something awesome and then does something even better, right? And oftentimes tied to the passive as well, right? So his suggestion is making one, you know, the fragment summon or the fusion like they have been, but making the other one available as a guaranteed champion. You guys know that guaranteed champions are some of the best times to pull your shards because you're guaranteed a champion, right? Even though this might not age very well because Plarium has a very, very, very annoying knack for upping the prices on guaranteed. So at the time of this recording, it's still generally the best time because even if it takes like 110 shards, well, you're going to get your legendary that you're going for anyway, the guaranteed. And then in addition to that, hopefully along the way, you might pick up another legendary or two, okay? So either way, that's his suggestion, but he articulates it much better than I do. I would suggest you guys go ahead and watch this video. I found it really interesting and I thought to myself, you know what? That's a great idea. Like, that would be a great idea to give access, at least, and a way to get these tandems rather than just one of the two champions. And you're sitting there thinking, yeah, awesome, great champion, Plarium, but what am I supposed to do with this, right? We also have the big news. I saw this first on Chosen's video, right? Or actually, I saw it first on Reddit, and then he made a video talking about it as well. They deleted a bunch of Rondas out there. So I saw so many people talking about this. The opinions really varying there, but essentially, and Plarium came out and they did some commentary on this as well, but compensation for the issues with the recent Ronda guaranteed event. Hello, Raiders. Due to the unexpected technical issues with the latest Ronda guaranteed event on our end, some players obtained more than one Ronda on their accounts. You are one of the players affected by the bug. Ronda is a unique champion with no duplicates allowed, blah, 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 blah. They gave this compensation package. Now, this was a new player event, a beginner event, so to speak, and they got this Ronda essentially for like 15 shards, right? Because it was after a certain amount of pulls, they were kind of guaranteed the champion. So, with that said, the compensation, at first, it looks really crappy. 15 shards, the chickens, the brews, the auto battles, the energy. But then when you think about it, the compensation is actually, you know, more than what they spent to get the Ronda. However, it kind of got me thinking here, and the opinions really vary. A lot of posts, as I said, on this, a lot of people complaining about it, a lot of people saying they should have just given everybody an extra Ronda as well, which I think kind of makes sense as well. But my whole thing was, right, is Okay, so Plarium screwed up and they gave away a bunch of champions they weren't supposed to. Okay, well, that happens, I guess. But man, it got me thinking, why didn't they just give life tokens, man? Or like a Killian, who is the champion to empower Ronda, you know, a 1-for-1 trade, you know, make people feel good. They lost a legendary, but they got, you know, Killian the Lucky. And by the way, guys, I have a maxed out Killian the Lucky, right? Who I never, ever, ever, ever use. I never use him. So what would you guys do with that? What would you guys do in that situation? Would you empower Ronda and just get rid of your Killian the Lucky? They already give him a buff. He's already a decent champion now. He's not trash, but I just don't use him. How do you entertain a situation like that on your account, right? A legendary that you already have built, maxed out, you spent your books and everything, but you could use them to empower a champion that you actually do use, you know, quite a bit more, or, you know, a lot more. What would you do in that situation? I'm very curious on you guys. I'm pulling a stalemate right now. I have not made any decisions either way on that. Okay, there's a lot more to get to here. So let me know what you think of the whole Ronda thing. But again, my main point there that I didn't even get to is the token trader in life tokens, right? Why not give it, at the very least, the life tokens? And, you know, are they ever going to add a refresh button in more champions to the token trader, dude? I know I am in the vast minority in the sense that I bought all these freaking champions. But I even know a bunch of free-to-play players. I was just talking to one the other day, right? One of my employees. They already bought Tomb Lord and Molly, and they don't want the other 4, okay? So for whatever reason, that's cool. But they really want a refresh button again. And it's just like, well, or more champions, you know? So why don't, I wonder why. I wonder why they just don't add more champions to this. To me, Token Trader needs a refresh button, you know? Even if you've not bought any of them, you might be interested in buying another champion, maybe a companion champion to get more out of a champion that you don't really use that has a companion, like we spoke about earlier, right? So to me, that would be a great idea. So guys, before we get to the quality of life updates, in case you missed it, this is a couple weeks old information, but it has not gone into the game yet. We're receiving 2 buffs to Nogdar the Headhunter into Gomlock Scarhide. Gomlock's buff, I don't personally think is going to make him like any more viable than he already is. It's a nice buff to have. They're buffing the shield from 15% to 30% on the A2. They're going to come in here and they're going to be stealing all buffs now, not 2 random buffs from the A2. And we are going to be, instead of decreasing target's turn meter, stealing target's turn meter on this, the Fateful Trickster ability. At the end of the day, though, you know, I don't think it really dramatically makes him a better champion, but who knows? I could be wrong. Nogdar the Headhunter, though, I do think his buff is massive. Is it going to make him meta? Is it going to really increase his use case? I don't know yet, but I can't wait to playtest. On the A2, we're going to place a continuous heal on all champions. So 1 continuous heal on all champions, on Gorefeast. On the last rites, it's going to grant an extra turn after this ability is used. Okay, we know that's a really powerful ability to add to any skill. And then on Headsman's Return on his passive, revives this champion, he's going to have 100% turn meter when he's revived. As long as all other allies are alive, he's going to be revived with full turn meter. That's really a pretty significant buff all around to Nogdar the Headhunter. So I'm really excited to use him in that same Frenzy set and just see what he can do after those buffs. I would expect those buffs to go in the game probably a lot around the same time as all of these quality of life updates. So quality of life, guys, gear seller filter, okay? We're going to be adding a special gear selling filter to all campaign locations and gear dungeons designed to be used when multi-battling. It lets you filter out gear you don't want or you want to keep and automatically sells the rest. So it's going to go in there and you can now choose to sell based on rank, rarity, set, faction, artifact, accessory type, primary stats, substats. So that's a really, really good gear selling filter. I'm excited about that one for sure. You can toggle it on and off as well. And then improved multi-battle settings. From now on, the game will save your multi-battle settings separately, depending on the location you used it in. So again, all those gear filtering and everything else, it's going to save those based on its campaign, potion keeps, minotaurs, ice golems, spiders. Well, you guys can see, right? Settings are shared across normal and hard difficulty. Keep that in mind as well. But I really like that, including Doom Tower, Faction Wars, Sand Devil, Iron Twins. It's all there. And then we have stat priority sorting. In the next update, going through your gear and selecting the best fitting pieces will become much easier with a newly implemented system of stat prioritization. You can now not only filter artifacts with necessary substats, but all assign them priority for each item: none, low, medium, and high. As a result, the system will automatically calculate the value of each gear and present them to you in descending order. If you're looking for gear with a specific stat and aren't worried about the artifact set it comes from, use the hide set filters checkbox, and with the filter is paired with the priority set stat filter, you'll see the gear with the highest stats regardless of the artifact set it's a part of. Honestly, it might sound a little bit confusing, but it's pretty intuitive when you get in there and play around with it. I think about 5 minutes and most of you guys would have it all figured out. So this is great. I mean, we have already kind of tools or third-party tools that do this, Hades Artifact Optimizer and stuff like that. So it's going to kind of in-game compete in the multi-battles, at least, with services like that. Honestly, I'm a big fan of this. It allows you to go ahead and take advantage on mobile, of course, and, you know, for me at least, I really, really want a feature like this, right? It's a pain. It's a pain for the majority of players to go in there and really find their best artifacts with thousands and thousands of artifacts existing inside the game. So last but not least, guys, I saw this. I just wanted to share it with you. We have Unlucky Logan on Reddit saying having differentiated words like oils and souls seems like a great idea. Since Iron Twins and Sand Devil are a pain for most of the player base, it could help a lot of saving resources. What do you guys think? So the idea here is just adding a bunch of soul coins, basically Ascension rewards and Iron Twins, Sand Devil, and like he said, right? Adding them a lot more to rewards, and it seemed like almost everybody was a fan of this on Reddit. I'm curious to see what you guys think, but I think that's a great idea personally, right? Give us some of these newer items, update the reward system on events and tournaments, essentially, right? Replace some of the crap, you know, like things that really you don't care, you get and you're like, okay, great, I'm never going to use that, or who cares, it would have taken me 1 second and 1 energy to farm that, or whatever it is, right? Just update it with more, you know, sought after things, right? Like the soul coins especially, man, they're hard to get. I don't know about you guys, but today, Sunday, I farmed all my auto battles and I didn't get one. I didn't get one actual soul stone or anything. And that's like super common, right? They're very, very difficult to get. And as I've already ranted in previous videos, in fact, like a few days ago here on the channel, man, I feel like the game has, the new features are amazing, meaning blessings and artifact ascension, but I also feel like, especially when it comes to the whole blessing and awakening system, it is so skewed in terms of how much it costs and the odds that actually empowering champions that A, you have, and B, that, you know, are good, and C, it costs for so much money, right? Like the odds of actually getting a legendary from a $60, I'm not going to do my whole rant again, but you guys can watch that video if you want to. However, I think that this would be a small step in the right direction to that end, guys. I throw a lot at you here. Hopefully, again, you enjoyed the format of today's video. If not, go ahead and let me know. If you did, please do so as well. And I'll either keep these videos coming like every other week or so, or every month, whenever is appropriate. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I think I'll have another video tonight talking about my new favorite arena nuker right now. So stay tuned for that. And as always, take care, guys.